Hey everyone, Michael here. Just thought I'd document my findings on rectifying the issue with the idle after installing an 82mm throttle body. Now obviously I've also experienced that issue and I've tried to eliminate other possibilities as to why it happens and still had no luck until a couple of days ago. Now just to quickly recap, I've got a genuine 82mm throttle body, a Mercedes one. The pinouts obviously are correct on it. The difference is I'm not running the one that needs to be welded on. I've got the adapter or the spacer. But the issue with the spacer is because the way it's actually set up, the throttle body has to kind of sit on an angle, not completely flat as to factory. Obviously this to allow for the countersink screws to go into the plenum or blah 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 of the supercharger. So because of this and the fact that the throttle body has to sit on a bit of a angle, what I noticed was you can see just down there where my glove is where the shaft that holds the butterfly of the throttle body, that's where it resides in there, and that's actually fouling against this valve which is plumbed into the plenum here of the supercharger. That valve there doesn't have any tension, or it's not spring loaded, so what happens is you can actually pull it by your fingers and leave it open, and as soon as the car starts up, because of the vacuum, it will close it shut. And what happened is, obviously when you get too carried away trying to install all of this valve, like I said, it can easily be moved. So even from just taking off the supercharger and putting it back on, or the plenum, it will open up ever so slightly, and when you go to mount the throttle body in, that part where the shaft is actually fouls on it, so it's holding it in place. So if it's slightly open, then it's going to hold it in a slightly open position, and when the car runs, it's never going to be able to close shut. So what I did was remove it. Remove the throttle body, got to the valve, closed it with one finger, and then just got the hose clamp and clamped it shut, clamped it tight so it doesn't open up by accident while I'm working around, and I just left it closed. I don't 100% understand the purpose of this valve, to be honest. If someone wants to shed some light, if it's actually a bad thing having it closed like that permanently, but so far I haven't had any issues, and yeah, I haven't had any of the faults, the idle air control fault, and it's been over 3 days now of driving, while normally I would get it after not even a day, depending obviously of the driving. If it's just coasting on light throttle, then I'll 100% come through. To basically back up what I just said, before I obviously found the leak, I just did a leak test. So I pressurized the system using this nipple here that I had plumbed in, and I blocked off the throttle body and applied a bit of pressure. It was about 10 psi or something like that, and I could hear the hissing from that valve. This was before I removed anything, and that's what triggered for me to have a look into it. So now that I fixed that up, and I do the 10 psi, there's no hissing at all, and this sponge here that I used to block off the throttle body just pops off because it can handle that much pressure. And yeah, again, I've been driving for 3 plus days, and I haven't had that issue come up. Haven't had any bucking, anything abnormal. So give that a go and report back. Again, it's really hard. Like, we're talking like not even a mil of the opening, and it'll still obviously suck in that bit of air. And the fact that, you know, the fault comes up after a day worth of driving, it's because it's such a little minute leak. If it was something major, it will come up straight away. So look into that, and yeah, just close it shut and put a clamp on it, make sure it doesn't open up, and then see how you go. So hopefully this was informative and will help other people out, and we can close the chapter on this notorious idle air control issue. Alright, take care, see ya.